I wasn't going to cover any Star Wars news today. I was actually going to try to cover some gaming stuff and some other things like that, because I'm like, we'll do the live stream tonight and I can talk about Star Wars. Want to kind of get some gaming stuff, diversify the channel a little bit. We're at 50,000 subs. We got to change it up a little bit, right? And of course, more Star Wars news drops. So, of course, I got to talk about it. So, right before I get ready to record, Club Star Wars on Twitter sends me comments to me. It says, John Campea said Kathleen Kennedy needs to step down. I'm like, what? Kathleen Kennedy's #1 cheerleader, the man who, the only man on the planet who has actually uttered the words that he worships the altar of Kathleen Kennedy. John Campea jumped off the Kathleen Kennedy bandwagon? Wow, I gotta check this out. So, had to watch the video. So, let's go ahead and get started on this. So, what's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about Kathleen Kennedy. You knew I was not going to pass up on the cringe-worthy intro that you all either love or hate. My intro is almost as divisive as Cecil. For those of you that don't know, you will know Cecil in time. Cecil is love, Cecil is life. But yeah, so John Campea. So I feel a little different about this than I have other situations in the past. So obviously when Christian Harloff mentioned it several months ago, I was like, man, that's a big win for us. Big win. Jeremy Johns, obviously yesterday I talked about Jeremy Johns in his video, and that was great. Jeremy commented on my video. That was awesome. And then he and I talked on Twitter. He sent a super chat to my stream. Cool dude. Love it so much. So I appreciate that from Jeremy. This situation is a little different from my perspective. Now, I've told you many times I'm a John Campea fan. I like John Campea. And just recently I've kind of just been done with him, though, because of his, I don't want to get into it, but the guy he attacks Star Wars fans, and then the Star Wars fans come back after him, and he plays the victim card. He's the one that's been throwing shade about racist fans and sexist fans and this, that, and the other, and I can't stand when people paint with those broad brushes, those dangerous words. Or at least they used to be dangerous. Now they're meaningless in 2018. But John's been throwing a lot of haymakers at Star Wars fans and people that don't like The Last Jedi. He threw shade at the people that wanted to boycott Solo. He made fun of them. He called them babies. Then when they responded, then he cried and played the victim. And now that this man who has literally uttered the words multiple times that he worships at the altar of Kathleen Kennedy, this man is now suddenly just all of a sudden making a video where he's ready to give 5 reasons why she needs to step down. He has preached. He has been in full support of her. He has claimed she's the greatest producer, president of all time. There's so much hyperbole he's used about this woman. And the people like myself and people like World Class Bullshitters and Ethan and Anna and Jesse and Ivan and SC Reviews, all these people who have been calling out this woman, and I'm not the first. I am definitely not the first. Mad Max has been calling her out. There's just so many channels out there that have been, and not maybe as bombastically as I have, but maybe some of them are a lot more eloquent than I've been, and we need that. Everybody doesn't need to be we need a diversity of ways we're expressing ourselves. I have my way, other people have their ways. But there's been a lot of people that have been calling this crap out. And John was touching on all of the points that we've been touching on for why we think Kathleen Kennedy should be gone. And he's been coming after us, calling us names. And that's the frustrating part, is now he's repeating the same things that we've been talking about for months. Her lack of ability to work with directors. Colin Trevorrow, Josh Trank, Lord Miller, the fact that the sequel trilogy had no continuity, there was no discussion, there was no plan, the fact that the fans hate this woman's guts, just so many different things, the Solo debacle that they've went through, it's just, there's so many problems under this woman's reign as the president of Lucasfilm, and all we've heard from him is that she's such a great producer, and he worships at her altar, and she's so wonderful at this, and all these movies have made this much money, and no Star Wars movie under the Disney ownership made money because Kathleen Kennedy was the goddamn president. Nobody was like, hun, I'm on the fence this weekend about taking the kids and you to see a Star Wars movie. It's going to run us about $150 when we talk about tickets and popcorn and drinks for the kids and the whole family. But you know, Kathleen Kennedy is a producer on the film, so we have to go see it. Not one fucking person had that conversation. Literally nobody had that conversation. So she doesn't deserve credit for having Star Wars movies that have made money. It's the most moronic thing I've ever heard in my life. But she does deserve credit for taking the single greatest IP in the history of the movie business and making it so irrelevant that Solo can't even break $100 million on a holiday weekend. On the 3-day, on the 4-day, it did break the $100 million. So, I don't know. I just don't feel the same about this one. We've all been at the forefront of the anti-Kathleen Kennedy movement. It's not because we're anti-female. It's not because we have anything against Kathleen Kennedy. It's because she sucks at her job. And it's that simple. I actually was in support of Kathleen Kennedy when she first was named the head of Lucasfilm because I didn't know anything about her. All I saw was, hey, she's got a long resume. She's sitting in a room with George Lucas. Steven Spielberg knows her. Bob Iger obviously has signed off on this deal. And if George is willing to hand her everything, then she must be good. So I was in full support of this woman being the president of Lucasfilm because on the outside looking in, it looked like a good deal. And then we start seeing some of the decisions making. You know, The Force Awakens comes and whatever, you know, and then the Rogue One, and then that's where I started noticing the problems. I'm not going to recite all this yet. I've told you all this 100,000 times. The point is, she started out in a good place with a lot of people. And she has earned the position she's in. She's much like Ahsoka. When Ahsoka started out, Ahsoka was not taken seriously. A lot of people didn't like her. And she earned the love that she has today through a great character arc. And Kathleen Kennedy has earned the hate that she gets because she has been a colossal failure at Lucasfilm as the president, to the point where now she's not even in the public eye. We don't see her anymore. That is strategic. That is intentional. That is Alan Horn and Bob Iger getting involved and saying, okay, you can't be out front in the cameras anymore. You can't be doing interviews. You are a PR nightmare. So she's going down. It's only a matter of time now. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen next month or next week or, you know, whatever. I don't think she's going to be around either before or after episode 9. She's going to be gone at some point. It's not going to last past episode 9 very long. That's the longest it can go. It may be sooner, but the Solo fallout is terrible. Just specifically with Campea and the way he's behaved and the way he has acted towards Star Wars fans, this is not the same to me as people like Harloff and Johns and other people that have taken a stand against Kathleen Kennedy with a bigger platform. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Again, when it all comes down to it, I'm kind of done with Campea, but I do still respect the fact that John Campea helped inspire me to create this YouTube channel and just build my team and my community, along with people like Jeremy Johns and Christian Harloff and Chris Stuckman. A lot of those guys have helped inspire me. And but yeah, I'm kind of done with it, and I don't feel like I would rather not have his support right now. It just feels like this. It just feels like he's jumping on the bandwagon now. And that's just disappointing. But that's just my opinion on it. I might be wrong. He may be genuine, but I have a hard time believing it based on how he's been acting in the past. So anyway, that's my video for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all so much to the new subscribers. I'll see you on the live stream tonight. I'll be in Savannah, Georgia, so I'll be live streaming from the hotel. So I hope that there's no issues with the Wi-Fi or my 4G will be working fine and I'll just run it off data. But you guys have a great day and we will talk to you later.